And we are live. Wednesday night with those guys, and Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. And this is
love those guys.
oh, we love you too. But this is Wednesday night with those guys, and as you know, Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys. And this is where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones. And if the weather is nice where you guys are, all of you guys in the chat, please let me know how the weather is where you are, and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones today, please let me know how the weather is where you are. And Lawrence, on this most somewhat wonderful Wednesday, it's a little humid, but how is the number one co-host in live streams?
I appreciate it much. I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate the kind words. It's not bad today. I went out a little bit. It was a little comfortable. It got a little muggy, but that's okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday night with those guys. What's up with you? What's happening with you?
I'm good. I mean, I've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, trying to get this live stream going. You know, I mean, I do put a little bit of work into it sometimes.
Yeah.
I do put a little bit of work into the live stream, and it's a weird time because we're on a Wednesday, we're in the middle of the week. We are one of the few shows that have really been around for a while. Not delusionally, but really been around for a while.
Delusionally?
It's a weird time spot. It's the middle of the week, but we did have a spot on Wednesday, and on Sunday because we started on Sunday.
Yes.
We had a spot on Sunday, we had a spot on Wednesday, and we used to. It actually worked, but it was time consuming with a lot of other things. But then we cut it down to one day a weekend. So, so I don't know. It's pretty big. What John Olson saying here? And okay.
I didn't catch it. I was actually.
Oh yeah, John Olson had left a message. No, and like I said, there's a few things happening, but anyhow,
You gotta complete something just really quick.
what?
Bob Dempsey and RJ Aerials are the only two without wrenches. FTFO.
Hold on, I thought Bob had a wrench. I don't
know, man. I don't know. The man travels in many countries. He might have left it somewhere. I don't know.
I thought Bob.
Okay. Old farts with drones. RJ's Aerial and FTFO, and that's it.
Ooh.
FTFO Media. Type in the box, guys, so we can clarify this really quick. RJ's Aerial. How much is that going to cost you?
Why somebody was complaining?
No, Bob came in and he was like, "Yo, what's the guy got to do to get a wrench around here?" And I refused to answer a question.
Who said this?
I'm joking. He said, "How about a wrench for the old fart?"
No, Bob said that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bob Dempsey. So I'm like, if you give him, you might as well hit RJ and FTFO, and that'll be it. All right, there we go.
I thought somebody that had a wrench wanted me to give them their wrench.
Another wrench or something, right?
No. I thought that somebody that had a wrench wanted me to give their wrench to one of the other guys.
Oh, wow. Can you do that? I don't know.
Yeah, you could just take the wrench from them and give it to the other guy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome to Wednesday night with those guys.
Make them use a screwdriver.
Oh, I hear you. We got a little bit to talk about tonight, right?
Yeah, we do, Lawrence. We got a couple of things to talk about. We have what is it happening? Is DJI really on the clock, Lawrence? And
Yeah.
we got Vic Moss coming in to talk about it, and Zoe FPV for FPV Corner. So we got
Yeah.
drone mitigation and see what's going to happen with that, and a little bit more to talk
Mm-hmm.
about tonight. So
Mm-hmm.
let's get it. How many people or who do we have in
Who
the
do we
house here?
have here? Who do we have? Who do we have? Who do we have? Who do we have?
Hold
All
on a
right.
second.
We might.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's
Wait a
up,
minute.
Corey?
Are you sure we got enough people to
To
actually?
do roll call?
Yeah.
I don't know. How many people? It says 17 watching, but half of that is probably um in the chat. You
Well,
know what? Let me
17
go.
watching.
Hold on.
Maybe they'll type in the chat.
Let me go to the top here. Right now, it says, as of now, it says there are 9 in the chat actively. Top
Right.
fans.
Okay.
That's what helps.
You
General
know
Lee,
I
how are you?
like that
I'm sorry
feature
if I
now.
missed you. Huh?
I like that feature now.
Yeah, because you can actually see who's in the
They
chat
can
live,
actually
real
tell you
time.
who's typing in the chat.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, come on. Let's do roll call real quick.
Yeah.
All right? You
Since we got
down?
15 people watching and 4 people typing in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, whatever it is. All right. Give a quick shout out to, we're just going to start at the bottom real quick. Bob Dempsey, Old Farts with Drones. Shout out to you, sir. Thanks for coming to Wednesday Night with those guys. Shout out to Thomas Baker. Welcome,
Hey, what's
welcome,
going on?
welcome. Thanks for joining us. Shout out to RJ, Ron, RJ's Aerial.
Hey,
Okay. All the way from the Bronx. Shout out to Takeoff Lift and Land, Bronx, New York. Eldon, how
what's
are you,
good,
my
Ed?
friend? I hope all's well. If you're commuting home, enjoy the show. Warren, Akarasho, shout out to you. Thanks
Warren.
for coming in early. Hope you don't have to walk the dog too early. We can have a good stream. John
What?
Olson, representing Long Island, New York. Shout out to John Olson
Wilson.
listening to us while staying out of trouble, I hope. Shout out to Josh, Primac Media, up
Josh.
north, up there in the area of Rhode Island, if I'm
Northeast.
correct. YACL 310, my boy Corey, all the way from
Word.
Queens. Frank Rizzo,
Frank.
shout out to you.
What it
Thanks for
do?
always. He was number one today. Check out the number system. FTFO Media, shout out to you. Just got his blue wrench today. Hope all is well with you. Steve, SJM, what is it? What is it? Steve, SJM Drones. Shout out to you, Northside Dominic. Good morning to you down in Australia.
What's
Over
good,
there,
man?
Dominic. DJ Lee, Mr. Lee is here. Shout out to you. Louisiana Helicam. Shout out to you as well. I think that's Brian is his name. Someone correct me. And that is it. Trimac Media. Josh, of course, I mentioned him. That's it. We're good. SJM, I got everyone. We're good.
You got everybody. That
Yes.
that could have been 17, you know.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. But people tend to come in to get the name shouted out real quick during roll call. So we appreciate the effort you guys take.
You
We
said
don't want you typing and driving, though.
all
You
you
know,
have to do is hit one.
well,
Unless
if
you,
you hit the microphone, the voice to text works, but sometimes it puts funky stuff.
yeah, I've had that problem happen. That's why I said to you,
Yeah,
I thought it was a good idea to
yeah.
have the thing in the car with the radio and being able to have YouTube on the screen in the car.
Hey, Zoe FPV.
But it doesn't always work that well when it comes to communicating. So then you get the phone and you try to connect the phone, but then the phone and don't worry about it. Phone and the YouTube don't work at the same time. But anyhow,
Okay, hold on. Zoe said FPV says in the chat said she's prepping for the stream. You can actually come into the studio and make sure your camera and everything is set up, and then you can back out. It's that easy. Because if you do, she'll show up in the back in the studio in the background, and
okay,
then pop back out and be ready to come on.
okay. Well,
If
anyhow,
you
we'll
want to, you don't have to.
all right. Well, Lawrence, what we have coming up later on this year after the summer is starting to wind down when the weather starts getting nicer on this side of the country. We have the Northeast U.S. drone meetup coming up September 5th through the 7th. And this meetup will start out at with the meet and greet at Snookers. It's a billiards and sports bar.
Can you put that
Then
banner back up because I had the lower banner on, if you don't mind. I think it does do. Yeah, now it's full screen. Okay.
well, it just didn't do much, but other than just the bottom of the thing. But yeah, September 6th will be the actual meetup date where guys will go and fly, and I believe that there's a few different locations where guys are going to go and fly at, which will surely be good because, like I said before, and I've said it, I'll say it again, and you know, that Rhode Island area, it just has a lot of places for you to see, like scenic places. So you got to make this meetup.
Yes,
If
we definitely want to be there. Definitely.
you check the link in the description down below, if you check it down below in the description, there is a spot where you can get to their Facebook group, and you can also find the information for the hotel.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
please check that link down there and make sure you grab that up.
I look forward to it because that was the first time I was that far up north in Rhode Island,
East,
and oh,
they're
northeast,
east, they're
in the
east,
upper northeast,
they're east of
and it was a lot of fun to fly FPV and camera drones. The camera drones, the flying we did that
the
night,
cliff, the
it
cliff,
was fun.
the
Yeah,
cliff,
the
the cliff.
cliffs flying off of that Fort Weatherville.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
fort,
even though we got lost on it trying
fort
to get.
this and that.
Yeah.
We said when you're trying to find where you was at, you see all the kids huffing and doing graffiti.
Yeah, all kids hang out there and smoke weed and huff paint and they go back home or whatever. But it's a large fort that overlooks the I'm guessing that's not too far north. It overlooks the Atlantic Ocean actually. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you sure that's not the Gulf or something that you want to rename?
Stop. Stop. We already have enough golf issues.
All right, you got enough Gulfs. All right.
Anyway, welcome to Wednesday night with those guys. We got a little bit to talk about.
Yeah,
And
Lawrence,
huh?
I'm, I'm saying we do, but we they, they're here. These things are around. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Why? Who has one? The hover air. Do you got one? Do you have one? Do you have one?
No, I do not have
Do
one.
you,
I
do you?
did not get one, and maybe I'm a
The
little
hover, the
goofy.
hover air X1.
Yeah, I don't know what happened,
I
but
don't know.
your picture seems to have froze for a
Never.
second. Your audio's good. Okay. Well, anyway, for those of you who have the Hover Air X1, there's a firmware update that unlocks some pretty decent features, I think, that are pretty cool, considering one of them is a feature that the Mavic 4 has, which is a 360. This update will allow your Hover Air's camera to do a 360 spin. And the update also has an improvement on the indoor tracking as well as the quieting the audio down,
Ah,
from what I understand. Welcome back. Welcome back.
were you
I
talking
was
about
just,
this
I
hover
was
air
just
thing?
talking about the Hover Air update having to do with the
Hmm.
360, the camera spinning 360, and the
Yeah.
indoor tracking, allowing it to track you down narrow hallways now, where before it didn't. And this quiet audio, I have to go
What did
back to
it do?
that
Bump into
section.
walls before?
Um, the tracking system would not allow it to go down certain hallways if they were a certain width. What that width was, I don't know. But now, supposedly, you can go in and behind things, and this thing will follow you now without bumping into something or crashing.
That's interesting.
And it says also the built-in microphone has a new noise reduction feature. Okay,
Okay.
while also catching ambient sound, sort of like the new earbuds. You put your headphones in,
Right,
and you can
right,
still hear sound around you and stuff like that. So
I totally understand exactly what you mean.
I do not know anyone who has one. Hey, Fly Guy Merle, what's good, man?
Fly guy.
Zoe says, can she
I
put a
think
purse in it? Can
can
she
she
put
put
it in
a
her purse?
yes, you probably can.
Supposedly, can you put this picture back up real quick? You
Yeah,
have a
that'll
picture,
fit in
right?
your purse.
Yeah, yes. It's foldable. Now, my thing is, how does this camera do a 360 mode now? It must be done through software because
Yeah.
that's a fixed 3-axis gimbal camera.
Well, you know
And
your
in order to do that, they'd have to make it a 4-axis,
your
like they
car
did the
has
Mavic.
that too now, right? They can stitch the photos on the car together to create a whole 360 view. Of, you can see the top down. There's no camera above your
Oh,
car.
she's saying she can put it in her purse. She owns
Yes.
one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Lawrence? What I wanted to talk about next, real quick, before
Yeah.
we get into the meaty stuff, the real meaty stuff, is that your good old people over at DoorDash seem to be offering drone delivery for over 100,000 Texas residents. Now,
Really?
DoorDash happens to be teaming up with their good old drone delivery partners, the company Flytrackers. And this is going to be taking place in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where all of the other trials
All
that are
the other
taking
drone
place.
deliveries are happening,
Now,
even
I'm
Wally World.
curious to know, is it the same set of people, or is it another set of people, or is it to expand the area, or like how are they working this out? I mean, or are they
From
overlapping areas? But the one
from
thing
what
that
I understand, from what I
mm,
do understand pertaining to that story, they do have places that are delivering. They didn't say who, but there are places that are delivering, and this new inlet of stores and deliveries will overlap into other territories.
right now, here's the problem that I'm having now. I don't. It's okay to have a delivery to your home. That's one thing. But to
Yeah.
locations, that mean that deliveries have to be timed and coordinated. But um, keep in mind also that if you're getting a drone delivery of anything, it's something that you're expecting now. It's not something that you're expecting, and I can go to work and it'll be there when I get back.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see where I'm
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I do get
So we
that.
automatically know that when we place a drone delivery order from our phone,
Hey,
that's knowing
Johnny
that
Drone Flyer.
it's something that we're expecting now. What's up, Johnny? You
Right.
know, I did want to say that, it's funny because we've been talking about drone delivery on this channel for
A few years now.
I was trying to figure out an exact number, but
It's
and it's
definitely
funny because
more
I've
than
said
more than more
from
than
stream
2 years. Easy.
from stream to stream to stream, I've been hearing a lot of naysay about this drone delivery. And I'm telling you, this is the future. I've been telling you guys that this is the thing. This is coming. It's just like I told you. How long ago did I tell you that it's going to come a time where you won't be able to fly a drone in this town without having a Part 107?
Yep. And now it's here. Now it's actually here. Due to legislation, due to certain executive orders, now the
Well,
use of
not even that, but the mayor here made it impossible almost for you not to have the
yeah,
107.
if you're not Part 107 right now in the state of New York or New York City area,
New York
if you're not a
City,
Part 107 and you try to fly and you get caught flying somewhere you're not supposed to, I don't know what's going to happen, but
well,
you
it
did
asked
say
me
that was going to happen. You did
stuff.
predict that 2 years ago.
Yeah, I just don't know. But seriously, we've been talking about drone delivery and air
Mhm.
taxis here longer than whatever. I don't care what other stream is out there. We've been talking about it for God knows how long.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We've been doing it for a
And
while.
I told you, I've watched where the FAA was going from when we got into this. We came in right around the time when they were switching from 333 to 107 came into play, and that
Yep,
started to get bigger and bigger. But Part 107 has probably reached its limit. That's
it's
why they
limited.
went
Yeah,
the IPP program into Beyond. So we'll see where this Beyond is going, because Beyond was, like they said, bring Beyond visual line of sight. So I don't know. But we spoke about a few things, but last week we did mention about the Mini 3 and stuff like that on Amazon. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that the price is back to the normal price, but you can still find the drone on that site. So I mean, with they're not being able to find drones elsewhere, I mean, I guess that would be a great place to start, Amazon. You know,
What type of drone would you say, off the top of your head, that
why?
you
I
were
mean, I
looking
know the
for?
minis, and they had minis.
Okay, let's see.
They, they,
DJI
they did have
Mini
minis.
Mini.
And on Amazon. So the Mini
Okay,
3
let's
was on Amazon. They did have it. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
DJI Mini
Um,
4K. Yeah,
okay, so
from
they
what I
do
see right
have
here, real quick, keeping within timeline. Yeah, they still DJ. Amazon is still selling the DJI Minis. The Mini 3 Fly More, the Mini 4K, the Mini 4. What else do they have here? Focentic. Here's another Mini 4K. So they do have, oh, okay, a few accessories for the Mini 2 landing gear
it.
extensions. They do sell a few things here. All right, that's good to know.
Okay,
That is good to know. I mean, not that I plan on buying anything new.
get
Um,
one. You
dude,
should get one.
dude.
You should get one.
I don't have
No,
enough
but
wall
seriously,
space.
that whole drone delivery thing, that's big, and it's going to get bigger. And we're going to speak more and more about it, because it is what's going to be happening. And I'm going to kind of
Yeah,
tie.
get used to it.
I'm
Coming
going
to
to
a city near you.
I'm going to tie up a few loose ends for you guys tonight on where I'm going with this stream, because there was a thing that I was mentioning to Lawrence that had taken place, um, which happened to be what was that, the Paris air show, and a lot of important things that are going to dictate to us how we fly and what's going on in our future in the airspace. It, it took place at that event. So let's talk,
What
because
happened? Could you repeat that? I'm sorry,
I
I was
said
typing.
no. I said a few things that took place at the Paris Air Show is going to
Yes.
dictate to us in the future how we're able to fly, and where and when, how, whatever it may be, when it all winds down and what comes together. Um, but we'll see. You know what? I need to refresh this page here real quick.
Go
Um,
ahead. Go
hold
ahead.
on.
You whatever you got to do. I'm here.
I'm,
Um,
I'm,
I
I'm
wanted to
good.
talk real quick. Did
Just
anyone?
refresh it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you might have had
Yeah.
to refresh yours.
No, good.
I had wanted to go into the something that was just put out at DJI Power 2000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It looks promising. Now, whether you'll be
Well,
able to get
double
it
the amount
here,
of power.
yeah, they definitely added more power. I got
It's
a
on their
2 minute,
website, on their
yeah,
online store.
I got a 2 minute video here. If you have not seen it, um, now you know why the price of those uh, the Power 1000 had went down, right?
Is that why? Because the
With a
Power
powerful sidekick
1000
covering your back, you can tackle
prices
any challenge.
Yeah,
fluctuated.
Introducing DJI Power 2000. With 1800-watt fast charging capability, it can be fully charged by
you
grid
can
power
hear it
in
fine,
just
right?
90 minutes.
Yeah.
Compared to the Power 1000, it doubles the capacity without doubling its size, fitting easily into the trunk.
It still looks a little heavy.
The output has been increased to 3,000 watts, effortlessly powering a wide range of high wattage appliances.
Anyway, I'm going to stop it right there because I don't want them hitting us with a copyright strike.
I do know one thing. That dude that they did get for the video, That's
Yeah.
King Kong because the the they said it's double the capacity, which means I know it may not be double the weight, but I
Barkley said
know it
it's
is
nearly
heavier.
60 pounds.
What happened?
Barkley says it's nearly 60 pounds. Well,
Nearly 60
if
pounds?
they made it lighter, because the
They're
Power 1000,
exaggerating.
yeah,
This thing is heavy. If I hit you with this, you're going down.
yes, yes, that Power
Matter of
1000 does weigh. You,
Matter of fact, I can put it down and turn my back because you can't pick it up and run away with it.
yeah, yeah, that's true. You and if you do try to run with, if you do manage to pick it up and run, after about 10
I can walk
steps,
and catch
you're
you.
gonna drop it. Yeah, yeah, that the Power 1000 is. Yo, Marcel, what's good, man?
What's going on, Marcel? No, seriously. You can put it down and turn your back. Nobody's picking that up and running away with it.
Yeah,
And if he can, let him get it because he's going to beat you up for it anyway.
that's true. Yeah, 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 for real. If he can take that thing and run with it, he could probably take it and run with it and throw you around as well. But I doubt it. I doubt it.
Well, you know what, Lawrence? I
Yeah,
wanted
man.
to, I wanted to talk a
It's
little.
time for a sponsor.
Is it?
529.
Wow, sponsors. You know, anyway.
For a live stream that talks about everything in the drone world. Tune in every Wednesday night to Wednesday Night with those guys.
That's a good looking dude, man.
Wow, wow, wow. That's how you do. That's how you do the sponsors.
What happened?
It was
He's a good
short.
looking dude. I mean, huh?
It was a little short. No, I'm
I
just
didn't,
playing. I don't
I
care.
didn't, I didn't think it was short. I thought it was
How
regular
are we
time.
doing on time?
Oh, we good.
I
But
haven't
you know
even
what?
used my Power 500 yet, Fly Guy Merrill says.
Okay.
We've
Well,
used the Power
I've used
2000 should
the
come with the wagon.
the 1000. What happened? The Power
Power
2000.
Power 2000 should come with the wagon and off-road wheels.
You know what? They do have a
Oh,
carrier.
he correct. Barkley corrected himself. He's a correction. Jeevan Dovey says the 2000 is about 48 pounds. Okay.
Nah, bro.
Hold on.
No, I wish I could get Barkley. Do you have one of these things, Barkley?
How much does a Power 1000 weigh? I'm looking it up right now, with the miracle of the internet. I don't want to know
And they
where.
must have put bricks in mine because this thing's heavy,
What,
bro.
what you say? You got the cylinder block version?
Yeah, man, because this thing's got bricks in it, man.
What is the weight on this damn thing?
Anyway,
Because they should warn you before you buy it. If you have a bad back,
hmm
yo, have someone else pick it up.
but
No?
yeah, a little bit. You know what I wanted to talk to you about, or talk
Yeah,
to
man.
everybody in the chat about? You know, um, one of the things, one of the first stories that we that was big for us when we had Sunday nights was that story of the gentleman who had the issue with the drone down in Louisiana.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely.
And he had issues with the neighbor, and one of the neighbor was a police officer and
Yep.
something other like that.
And that's how we
And
got
oh,
Ryan on the screen.
trespassing. Right, and we got Ryan on the stream, but that's how we started talking about those type of things and bringing those things to the forefront. But the funny part about that is that here we go once again, and we always say leave it to Louisiana to come up with this because from what I'm understanding is that Louisiana has well a new law signed by Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry that will allow local and state law enforcement to take down any drone that is illegally flying over a parade route. Now, what I find quite interesting about that and their drone mitigation
Hmm.
in Louisiana is that this is something that I've heard a lot of people talk about wanting to do. I'm curious to know how they got this past the federal government. I don't know how far this is going to go up the chamber. From what I'm understanding, that he has signed this. The governor
Yes,
has signed.
it is.
So this is going from this is going. So excuse me. It's going from House Bill 261 to uh, Act 170. We will act. So this is moving. How far will it go? I don't know. Is it going to become a law? Will the federal government step in? Because you're going
I
to
don't
now.
think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because I'm starting to see a lot of local municipalities. I'm not starting, but we've been saying this for the
See
longest
it.
time,
Yeah.
and we even talk about the one that we've talked about earlier here in New York, how they've used other laws to be able to get around that, to say that so here's what you need to have to be able to fly. So I don't know. I mean, I just look at this, and people look at this in a parade and they say, well, okay, I know how we do parades here. I know how New York City does parades here. Um, when it comes to something like this, now I've looked at this. They talk about fines ranging anywhere from
Johnny
um,
Campfire says it starts
2,000.
August 1st.
Yeah, I know that. I saw the bill because I sent you a copy of it if you
Yeah,
wanted to hear
I
that.
have it right here.
But it, it's ranging from 2,000 to 5,000. From anywhere from a year imprisonment, and if you're getting time in prison with the federal government, you are going to do labor.
Right. Right.
Um, now, when it comes to something like this, the whole thing of setting up something like what they're talking about, I get what you understand what they're doing, but you're talking about no fly zones, right? Or no
Yeah.
drone zones, or the
Right.
FAA. I mean, whatever the terminology is that's being used, no drone zones. I guess that's the terminology. No drone zones. No drone zones, right? So no drone zones basically is same as what a TFR. So now
Mhm.
we all know how the wording of a TFR works, right? So a TFR will give you miles, right? And they will give you altitude, surface to.
Exactly. Surface to ceiling
Right.
altitude.
So
Yes.
now in a TFR, now and honestly, and now now this is not far. Now, and a lot. I don't know how they do it in smaller towns and little places like that, but big cities like here in New York, a TFR is not outrageous that you would have a TFR for a parade and for certain events. Why? Because yes, TFR, temporary flight restriction, nothing can fly over it. That's why when they put out the TFR is not above altitude that manned aviation can fly. It's above the altitude that RC is allowed to fly. It is to keep you out of the area totally,
Right. But I
not
want
take
to.
off and land.
I want to bring up something real quick. What their main one of their main concerns in
Mhm,
Louisiana, I'm trying to keep up with the chat, is they're worried
mhm,
about the parades. And they
mhm.
specifically say parades because in Louisiana there's parades all the time. Louisiana has more parades perhaps than any other state. They party, I think, a little more than some other
Yeah,
states.
yeah,
Um,
probably.
and with these parades, the people buy the rights
Hmm.
for to see this over the air. So now you have a guy that comes with a Part 107 pilot who is paid to fly the parade and has a certain job which he's given that airspace to fly. And someone, I understand, someone's nephew, uncle, cousin, wife has a drone and they
Hmm.
just want to go up and get a few shots. They will have the right to take you down. Now,
Now, can I
now,
can I, can I
go ahead.
interject here? Can I interject here?
Yes.
Now, I don't care. Now this is one. Now I understand you said there's drones that are flying that are part of the operation that is taking place,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So now I don't care if your uncle or your nephew Junior has his Part 107 and has his waiver be able to fly over people and has
Uh-huh.
all his dots dotted and his X's X'd and his T's crossed. He's not part of the operation, so he would not and should not be flying there.
And he would be considered rogue.
So I understand how that works.
Right.
It's
We
just
we,
like
we
it's just like, for instance, if you're doing something right with the drone, like you say that you're doing something, and we're doing this here, and we're supposed to be doing this here with the drone, but now there's some official operation going on in that area. Well, if you're not part of that official operation, well, guess who's not supposed to be in that area? You.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care how much 107 you got, you ain't supposed to be there. Now,
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
I do understand the whole setting up of a TFR and everything like popping up on. Everybody would love to see it pop up on their map when it comes up, but it should be, honestly, if it is officially, it should be on like on your air maps and stuff like that, and well, not air maps, but flight control and stuff like that. That it should be on that DJI stuff. It should be on there too. It should show it to you that, and it'll tell you that that's well, now that there's no, but it should notify you that you're in an area. Now, as far as guys flying during these TFRs, I don't know what the guys do. The guys do what they do, but I know this, that if you're looking to do this drone mitigation, they're saying that
Right.
there's two types of uh, mitigation that they can use to take down these drones. Now
Yes.
you have kinetic and non-kinetic. So what's the difference? Firing of weapons, aircrafts, nets, and stuff like that at a drone,
Yeah.
that's kinetic. You got non-kinetic, whereas that you have jamming, radars, and other things like that have been used to either,
X-rays,
yeah, to either
lasers.
jam your signal or stop your drone from doing what it's doing, take control over it. Now, how these things actually would have to take place. Now, we do understand this, that you do have to start with tracking the drones first. So you're going to have to track for drones. This is the first step to be able to do this. And they use radars, cameras, and all sorts of stuff, acoustic sounds, things like that, to be able to do such. You're looking for to now move into what they would call disruption techniques,
Yep.
such as jamming. Like I said before about losing control, losing signal of your of your
Mm-hmm.
of your drone, uh, such as returning to home. Those are what you would consider as what non-kinetic
Yes.
situation. So
Yes.
those things are not going to destroy the actual drone in itself.
Right.
They're just going to return the drone to home, land the drone or something such like that, or move it out of the area. Well,
Under controlled, right. Under controlled
right,
forces. Using
right.
controlled
So now,
forces. Yeah.
right. So now we start getting into neutralizing, physically stopping the drone. We're talking about firing of nets, weapons, other aircraft at the
That's
drone.
kinetic. It's physical.
Right. So those type of things are the are type of things that they can use to stop your drone. Um, Also, there's interruption of power. Now, to me, I don't know. Once that drone hits the ground, it's garbage anyway. So
True. True.
net disrupt the signal, whatever you want to interrupt the power. No, but they also have systems that are able to take over control of your drone. And as we know that there are systems in place here in New York that can take over your drone, land it
Correct.
safely, and be right. So I don't know. What do you think, Lawrence?
You had a photo, right? Did you show it? I might have been in another window.
Yeah, I did.
Hold on. Okay, yeah, okay.
I did.
I was in another window.
I
Um,
did. I did.
my
I
problem
explained.
my problem with this legislative law in Louisiana, it is a law.
Right.
It is concurrent. Stop
It's
listening to these other live streams talking about when they make it a law if it passes. It passed. This is legal. All it
yeah.
takes is for them to put it in a law book somewhere.
I just
Um,
want to know how far can it go?
well,
Will
other
somebody just
states are going to look at this and see what they can do in their local state,
not?
and
Well, it's
it's going to stretch like a virus.
well. You're right because the nonsense that they did here in New York actually did spread to other places where they tell you
Mm-hmm.
about, you have to permit and fees and doing this, that, and the other.
Jim's Dronings, how are you, man? What's up, dude?
You know, um, you I just hope that something like this. Truthfully, guys, I tell you this.
Fly until you can't no more.
No, it's not even the point of that. And it's the thing, like, and I had this, I tried to have this conversation with someone. I tried to explain this to someone. And I got into this, when I first got into this, I would fly almost anywhere. I would look to fly almost anywhere. And as I got, you know, listen, guys talk about the Part 107, and it's not a hard test to study for. But it's an interesting test to study for because it makes you respect certain things more, especially
Yep,
when you start doing certain things and you start operating on certain things.
yep.
And especially when we get to where we are right now in the drone community, where we're faced with where we could be losing DJI drones and using them for shooting critical infrastructure. Um, I don't want to shift it away, but it's tough because you learn how to conduct yourself a little bit better than you did when you were just a hobbyist or recreational flyer,
Right, like you said it,
and you
and
have
you
a
develop
different
respect.
different respect for certain things.
Yeah,
So and you should. I'm not saying that it has to, but it did for me, and it should. It's just like when you got your driver's license. Yeah, when you were a kid, yeah, you thought it would have been cool to drive fast and go down the street. But when you got your driver's license, you studied and and you really understood what you were doing. Now, after a couple of years of doing it, you had a better respect for what you were doing.
yeah, yeah.
I just,
Yeah,
I
you
just want
did.
to throw that out there.
No,
You know,
I'm glad you mentioned it like that. Because and I'll be really brief with this, but I've been accused of being a little bougie because there
oh
are
yeah,
certain things that I don't do anymore that I used to do before I became a Part 107.
yeah, you are.
And
You're afraid to lose that certificate. That's what it is. I get it.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
totally
it
get it.
definitely does, man. Yo, listen, after
I
I
totally
got it,
get it. But you're not
after
gonna
I
fly under mine when if you lose it.
listen, and people will do shit to cause you to try and get you to lose your Part 107.
Oh, that's happened already.
Yep, yep, yep. we
Yeah, that's
we
happened.
we we've experienced that. Oh, we're sent
But
with
you know what?
yeah.
What happened?
No,
I wanted to.
I almost went into it. I
I
don't have a
wanted to
disclaimer
mention.
uploaded.
I wanted to mention something else that happened because at the 55th um uh what is it, Paris air show
Yeah,
2025, Parrot on unveiled this, was the Parrot Anafi
yes.
UKR. Now Parrot, they're the French drone manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
You do understand that, right? Well, they unveiled their latest professional micro UAV. That happens to be the Parrot Anafi, the UKR. I found
Yes.
this to be interesting because it's designed. They say for defense and was it public safety and other government agencies to be able to use this because it's supposed to be able to tackle the challenges of what is it uh, critical zones where there is danger and being able to use for emergency response operations. This drone is on the blue UAS list from what I'm understanding.
Yep. Yep. Out the
And
box.
let's look at this drone here because everybody is wondering what are we going to do if we can't fly the DJI drones.
DJI, right. And now keep in
Um,
mind, it is an enterprise version. It's strictly for law enforcement, law
the, the,
enforcement, search and rescue, all of that.
before we go any further with the live stream, let me make a disclaimer here. The United States is going commercial with drones. Then it's no longer for
It's
everybody.
no longer a secret, right?
It's only for commercial use. I mean, I heard on another live. I'll tell you what. But anyhow, this drone right has a 38-minute flight time, Lawrence. Believe it or not, with their standard battery, right, and they have up to 50-minute flight time with their XLR battery. Now
And
that's quite
extended.
interesting. Yeah. That's their extended battery. What I thought was interesting was this because they said, and I don't know if I read this wrong. Maybe I did. 40-kilometer range, which happens to be 24 miles.
That's
Of
crazy.
flight range. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I mean, you don't
Um,
expect to go that far, but that's decent penetration for buildings and inside infrastructure, and yeah,
right, right. Because their dual sensor system, right? On this, right? The dual sensor system has a 35 times zoom, and it has a thermal resolution camera, so making it 3 cameras on this drone.
yes, yes. Now,
With a resolution of 640 by 512 12 in the pixels.
yeah,
This
this is an actual picture of it. Um, if you remember, Parrot did have a bird out that they had crossed over to the
the Anafi,
enterprise version. Yes, the Anafi, the original Anafi, if you
right?
remember.
And
And
then they came out with an enterprise version of the
yep.
Anafi,
Now,
which
did
was
now
roughly around 5 grand, right? It was like
right,
5 grand
right.
price range,
So I'm thinking this may be the replacement for that enterprise version that they had out,
right? And
and
this would
and
make
it'll
it
be Blue UAS listed already, as opposed to the other one, which wasn't.
right. And this is roughly around the same price as what the new the DJI
Hey,
what is that?
Angie,
Trees 4.
hello.
AJ, the new Matrice that came out.
Yes,
So I don't know. This drone also can actually work in areas where there's warfare going on and GPS denied areas.
for
So
108 holders, which we won't be able to get. Bob Dempsey says.
what happened?
Probably he says for 108 holders, which we won't be able to get. More than likely because they'll be there. You'll be able to fly beyond visual line
Um,
of sight with these, and you'll
what
need to be a.
I,
He's saying you'll need to be a Part 108
to do what?
to get them and or fly them.
To
The
get
enterprise
what?
version of this new Anafi.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Part 108 is not for personal use. It's for commercial use.
Right. That's for a
For
business, a company to be able to
That's
fly
for like
beyond
drone
visual.
delivery.
Yeah.
That's for like drone delivery and stuff like that. That's not for you flying and doing your personal drone work. That's two different things. But going on with this, this also has. This is where it got a little interesting to me because you're talking about what it supports both standard Wi-Fi and LTE connectivity. which works from what 15 kilometers, like 9.32 miles, and it can extend out to 20 kilometers or 12.4 miles. So that was a little interesting in the connectivity.
You know, it sounds like a decent machine that could replace a DJI drone. You haven't heard any
Right, it's
complaints about
necessary.
Anafi. They did get several government contracts until they were beat out by
You flew the Anafi,
Skyfall.
didn't you?
Huh? Yes, yes.
You flew the Anafi. We flew the
Yes, I
Anafi with
did.
Billy.
Yes, Billy Kyle actually let me fly. That's right. We flew the Anafi. Me, you. That was back when me, you,
When we
Philly
when we
drone.
met
Yeah,
when we met Philly Drone Life for the first time when
right.
we all went to Wendy's.
We met Philly Drone Life when we were hanging out with him. He's like, "Hey, we're going to meet up with Billy. Would you like to meet Billy Kyle?"
No, we met Billy first, and
Oh,
then we
yes,
met
yes, yes. We told Billy, asked Billy if
we
he
met
knew Philly Drone Life. Yes, that was it. I do remember. Because we were flying on Jersey and we came over to the Philadelphia side to fly and meet up. And we told Philly Drone Life, yo, we're here. And he actually met up with us. And Billy let me fly that
and we went to
Anafi.
Wendy's.
I do remember. But I have to point out that Anafi, along like the Parrot, I had no idea they were made out of styrofoam. That thing was really
No,
light, but it served its
no,
purpose.
it's
It was a
not
good
made out of
drone.
styrofoam. It's a pretty good drone, though. It was a good drone. You got jokes. This guy, I don't know, man. It's a good drone. It's all right. I liked it. You know, you you didn't like it?
Yes,
I don't know.
yes, yes. Hell yeah, yes, definitely. It
You,
was it was nice, very nice drone.
you know what I wanted to mention to you, Lawrence?
We got a
Because
sponsor coming up in 6 minutes. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this real quick before we get into that sponsor because
Mm-hmm.
the U.S. Aims to fast track air taxis, and at that Paris air show, the U.S. They had laid out a whole thing, and the beautiful thing about this, why it looks so good for air taxis, and this whole thing is that because why I say this, the future looks good for it, is because not only are we've reported on how well they're doing with everything, and actually they're all ready to go. Really, to be honest with you, they're all ready to go. But
Mm-hmm.
now that they've gone through all of the procedures on how to go, what's so great about it right now is the fact that the president and the transportation secretary and the acting administrator of the FAA is all on board on it and doing their part to make sure that this happens. Because at this actual air show, the transportation secretary, Sean Duffy,
Yeah.
and the acting FAA administrator, Chris. I have problems with this gentleman's name. Please don't ask me to pronounce his last name. Um, they actually laid out an entire presentation that basically was a roadmap to the that streamlined all of the certificates and the regulations to actually for all of these eVTOL aircraft. Now, what is so beautiful about that is that it is backed by the president because, as we know, the president signed these executive orders that is supposed to fast track the
Mm-hmm.
national movement for flying cars here in the United States.
Yes.
So with this happening to be a whole thing that it will include the collaboration with Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK. So, believe it or not, this is what they want to come up with is one safe and significant way of certification
Mm-hmm.
and basically a standard to making it all happen from A to Z. Whereas that all of these aircrafts are operational from country to country.
Okay. Well,
Now,
see, that would simplify things. If you have all these different ways of getting certification, if you have just one standardized way that countries
mhm,
a group of countries. They say here Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom wanted to standardize the
Mm-hmm.
certification and the way you set up eVTOLs, UTMs, unmanned traffic management systems, things like that. So you could get fat. It'll eventually come to a time. You remember the movie The Fifth Element, and you see
Mm-hmm.
buses going this way, and you see cargo going that way. That's what they're trying to do. I don't think it'll be as complex,
I don't
but
think it'll be as that deep,
right,
but yeah,
right,
that's
exactly. It won't
exactly
be
what
as
they're trying.
complex, but you'll know a certain corridor only specific eVTOLs will ride in or travel in. You'll know a specific corridor that the Walmart drones are taking when they leave the warehouse. You
No.
know, things like that. So um, let's see what's happening here. With I'm trying to contact Zoe FPV and see if she's ready to come
Are
on.
you still there?
Yes, I'm here. You hear me? Yes, I'm here. Anyway, Herman may be having technical issues. And until there he is, he's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I
I'm
got
back.
you.
Here we
I
go.
held it down.
Here we go. I'm back.
We
Now,
can.
where we at?
We're still 2 minutes away from that sponsor. So I
You
just
know
left
what?
a message.
Let's do the sponsor. We'll come
Hmm.
back and we'll go to, I guess, what the next. We'll skip that next one and go on to the
Yeah, what we have to do.
FPV Corner. Right? All right. So let's
Yes.
get that sponsor in here. Jonah Dare. For those of you who are Part 107 and looking to scale your operations, you just want to get out and do all the work and leave all of the office work to someone else, Jonah Dare is for you. Where you can get out and do all the work, place where you can meet clients, meet new clients, book appointments, show off your work, tools to make you a more knowledgeable pilot. If that's what you're looking for, then Jonah Dare is for you. Check it out. There's a link in the description. Jonah Dare.
Okay. Well, I've got some good news. Zoe is very, very prompt. She's 2 minutes away. Um, she's
Okay.
she is arriving. She should be in the green room within the next 2 minutes or
Okay.
so.
You said,
So
so
we
you
we
said
can.
a limo is running a little bit late.
Yes, yes, yes. You know how it
Okay.
is. You know
So
that
should we go
traffic,
on to the
that internet
should we go
traffic.
on to the should we go on to the next story, or should we just wait for Zoe to come in? Or
We could go on to the next story. It's 6 o'clock now. We can go on to the next story. She's
okay,
probably
let's go on
setting
to it
up.
real quick.
Yes.
We'll go on to the next story real quick because what seems to be happening is Eve signed with Future Flight Global. So, as you know, Future Flight Global and Eve have signed a letter of intent with Future Flight Global to provide 54 eVTOL aircrafts, which will be deployed in Brazil and in the U.S. markets.
Hmm. That's
Eve Air
54.
Mobility, yeah, yeah, 54 of them. Um, they did an exhibition there at the also at the 55th, I should say, Paris Air
Air
Show.
show. All of this
Yeah,
stuff. Our show was sponsored by the Paris Air Show. No, I'm lying.
yeah, where
My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
where Mega Bertia, who happens to be the chief commercial officer of Eve Mobility,
Yes.
he happened to say, Lawrence, believe it or not, that this collaboration with Future Flight Global
Mm-hmm.
is a significant step forward for urban air mobility in the Americas. So I said this before, and I'll say it again. It is the future. This is where they're going with our airspace between air taxis and the drone deliveries and stuff flying in airspace. All kind of
Yes.
stuff is going to be going on.
Right. Well, you know what, Herman? We've been doing this live stream for how long now?
Oh, going on
including
7 years.
Sunday night, including Sunday nights with those guys. We've been doing it for
About 7 years or so. It was about seven
okay,
years now. Because I know
right,
we had the anniversary. We
right,
had the anniversary,
yes,
6 years. 6 years.
yes,
And, you were doing this on the other channel before that. I'm talking about
correct,
realistically, not delusionally. But
yes,
I've been
yes,
we've been
and
on YouTube for about 8 or 9 years.
from day one, we've been reporting the symposiums that they've been having, discussing what
Mhm,
the FAA was going to do.
mhm,
For years, we've been talking, Herman says, we've been talking about companies like Archer Aviation, even before they got the certification here in the United States, and before they
mhm,
got, what is it? The other companies like Joby.
mhm,
Zipline was started in the United States, went to Africa. Now they're back in the United States, or did they ever leave? We've
mhm.
been covering a lot of stories, and now to actually see this stuff happening, the future's here.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
the future's here. I mean, you've been saying for quite some time now that
Mhm.
it will come a time in New York State where you will only be able to fly if you're Part 107. And bingo, boingo, look what happened.
Well, you see here in New York, right, that you have to be able to present a reason why you're flying there, what you're
Yep.
doing with the footage. You have to have your insurance. Who else has those things to present?
John
Except for
Olson,
somebody that's
John
operating
Olson
Part
asks,
107.
John Olson asks, will we be taking an Eve to our next job? I hope not to our next job, but maybe from an airport to a hotel,
Or what
you know.
happened? What he
John
said?
Olson was saying, "Will we be taking an Eve to our next job?" Well, I was saying, "Well, I hope not
Well,
to the next job, but from an airport to a hotel, somewhere
well,
like a
you know,
vacation, yeah, that would be
well,
sweet."
you know what? I would like to fly in one of them, but I've seen some of these aircraft. I don't think they make these things for us guys. I,
Okay, and hey, Lance, how are you, Lance? What's up? Oh, and I was
I
asking
would
Angie how was her trip in Mexico. She says it was okay.
okay.
It was not what she thought. It was going thinking that it would be a lot more like Arizona. See,
I was
I haven't been to neither place. So I wouldn't know what to expect, to be honest.
oh well, you know what? I've never been to Arizona. Um, wow.
I haven't
I don't know.
either. I
I've,
haven't
I've
either.
you know,
Let's
it's
see what's
funny.
happening here. We got
I've never. Zoe was in the
in the green room, yes,
in well,
and
well,
came back
well,
out.
I don't I don't
Let
know.
me contact her
Yeah,
and see if she's having technical issues,
yeah.
and we
You
can
you
go
can
on
you do
because
it.
Vic
I'll
Moss
just
is gonna. Okay,
yeah. Vic's
hold
coming in
on.
later. You can contact her because I can actually hear her, so I don't know what was going on. But yeah, as far as what we were talking about as with Eve's, which was actually the last in this letter of intent that they signed. Um, why this is so important is that now we have not only but not one but now is three aircraft companies operating in the country. So you
Yes,
have, so it is not just whereas that everything is just dictated by one. So as far as pricing and routes and stuff like that, you
yes,
know, that
yes,
makes it better.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Okay, I
Okay.
believe we are almost.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
All
We're
right.
ready.
You got it. All right.
Okay,
So, Lawrence, let's get into what we got coming up next.
FPV Corner. Yes. Well, I'd like to welcome you, Zoe FPV, to our FPV Corner. Those of
Hello,
you
hello.
who don't know Zoe, if you don't know this young lady, first of all, I must say you don't, and you're not into FPV as much as you think you are. And I wanted to say one thing really quick, Zoe. I had
Yeah.
invited you to be on to be one of the first female FPV pilots on our segment FPV
Aw.
Corner, and
Dope.
you couldn't make it. I couldn't contact you or something last week, so you're the second.
It's all good. It's all good. Who
Okay.
did I have on last week?
We had Lady FPV
Oh,
on.
Kimberly. Yeah, she's awesome. I love her.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
she's one of my teammates on Mach 1. Yeah.
she introduced me she actually invited me. Hey, Orfax, it says that Zoe FPV is the bomb. She invited me to join the Mach 1 group. She said there's a lot of female racers because I wanted to do something a little different here. Everyone has male FPV pilots on.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been focusing on having female FPV pilots on. But you
That's
girls are hard to catch up with.
I mean, some of it. I mean, honestly, like the Mach 1 team is really big and it's international.
Yeah.
And one of the issues that I've had on the team, and probably honestly the only issue I've had on the team, is trying to coordinate schedules with pilots to fly, because when there's like, all these different time differences, you can't really get people together easily in one place.
Yeah, I do. I have found that to be an issue with trying to get people interviewed. Like next week, I'm going to try and have a gentleman on all the way from Laos, Africa.
Good
And
luck.
Nice.
Here in New York, it will be 6 p.m. in the evening, and in Laos, Africa, it will be 5 a.m. in the morning. So let's see how that works. But I wanted to know, how long have you been flying? Because you've been around for a while.
Oh yeah.
So over 10 years now. I think it's probably 11 to 12-ish total.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got into flying primarily when, like DJI drones really weren't a thing.
Right.
You had like carbon fiber frame, like the thing that we associate as a drone, like a carbon fiber mini quad.
Mhm.
It didn't exist. We didn't have the modern technologies that we currently have. Fat Shark was just becoming a thing,
Yeah.
and it was early days. It was different, and I got into it largely because like I used to ride motorcycles. I used to be very active in my life, and I had some horrible medical issues for several years that I'm still in some ways recovering from. And drones kind of allowed me to get back into the world. I became a massive recluse before that, and it was this thing that allowed me to like not just have something to do outside of my room or where I'm at. Gave me something to, in a way, to almost escape my body and to free myself in the weirdest ways.
I can understand when you say to escape your body, because I tell people FPV is often the closest you can get to flying like a bird than anything in the world. And
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, like I don't know a whole lot about 3D flying.
Mm-hmm.
What the
Yeah.
hell is 3D 101 in a brief synopsis? Because I
So,
got introduced into 3D through you.
okay, so I to break it down simply, like most pilots, I feel like out there fly DJI, cinematic rigs. They fly GPS auto stabilized machines like the Potato here. This is my DJI Potato or the DJI FPV setups. This thing will fly itself. You tell it where to go until you flick it to manual mode. Now, manual mode, it doesn't self-right itself. You have to take full control of the machine. You can, have full throttle control of the motors. You're more in direct control of the machine. A lot of pilots don't even get to that point, I've noticed. 3D is going manual mode and being like, you know what? Wouldn't it be fun if we had the ability to have thrust in both dimensions, not just up, but also down? So when you're upside down, you can have positive thrust. You can do TikToks in air. Essentially, for 3D helicopters, especially old school RC pilots, 3D helicopters and collective pitch was a thing. This is a collective helicopter, control-wise, flight-wise, skill-wise, but technically it is just a regular drone. Like, this thing will fly like any normal drone flies. But if I flip the switch, I now have the ability to go negative, positive. My throttle becomes positive when I'm like, top half my throttle is positive thrust, bottom half my throttle is negative thrust.
Right. Right.
And so
And if you
you're
flick the
mixing all.
switch, that reverses.
So mentally everything reverses, but technically all the controls stay the same. It's
Well,
really hard to explain. It's like, think of it like
maybe
you're
you
an
could
astronaut,
explain it.
right?
Maybe you could explain it with the video.
Yeah. Just
Because
cut to.
I have your video here.
Understood you
Guess
when you were
whatever.
explaining.
And yes, I have your video here. Hold on, Vic. Let's take you for an FPV ride in 3D. Hold on a
You may
second.
want to take some Dramamine. Just fair warning.
Yeah. So maybe you can explain this here.
Yeah,
Here's the video. Here you go.
I'm really excited because this band
And
hasn't been flown yet.
If
I wanted to make something
we can
special.
still hear you.
A little more cinematic.
So
Okay.
if you can explain it this way now.
Okay, so this is just a spot me and some locals fly. I forget the name of it, but I wanted to film 3D from line of sight, so you can see what the drone is doing line of sight, and then you can see what I'm doing with my controls at the bottom, and then you can also see what my drone's doing with FPV footage. Now you'll see the drone flying some crazy manners. Like, you can do really close maneuvers to the ground with negative thrust and kind of glide it. TikToks over objects like that. You can do really nice yaw spins. And realistically, in my opinion, RC flying has had multiple types of 3D. You have 3D airplanes, which open up the ability for you to fly in a whole different way with an airplane. You have 3D helicopters that open up the ability for you to fly on a whole new realm of, ability for 3D. You have now a 3D drone, which the technology is finally matured enough to give us a reliable, fun, exciting machine to fly. And this is something I've been working on now for a better part of 8 years in FPVs, is trying to work with companies and manufacturers to allow this kind of flight to even be possible, because starting and stopping those motors very quickly is difficult.
Right.
And to do it the way that's done is kind of mind-blowing.
I'm kind of amazed at how you can just change direction. I actually saw a video where you suggested taking two props on the corresponding arms and inverting them, which gives you the ability to do this. Now, isn't there a special prop you can buy also?
Yeah, so there's actually a bunch of props now. I've worked with several different companies. Right now, GemFan has three different 5-inch propellers. They now have a 3.5-inch propeller, which is awesome. So the craze right now, I think, in FPV is 3.5-inch flying. Well, now 3D is available in 3.5-inch with brand new propellers from GemFan. If you have a shop you like to buy propellers from, tell them to carry these because they are now available.
Okay.
I don't make any money from that. I'm just saying, if you want these. But this is my color, so I worked with GemFan very hard to get these to market. This is an official collab with them. But it's my Zoe FPV Zirpal color and the atomic green propellers.
Okay.
And then on 5-inch,
is the link on your Instagram or your on YouTube? Because I'm posting your Instagram and YouTube.
So all my links to all my socials are on my website, zoefpv.com. You can I just updated it earlier today, actually, a little bit. I don't sell these propellers, and right now I'm actually not sure if anyone in the United States is carrying them retail-wise, which is fun. But
I'm sorry, I had background noise. I'm like, where's that noise coming from? I never stopped the video. Listen, Zoe,
Lawrence, there's a link in the description.
Yes.
For Zoe's Instagram and for her YouTube
channel.
So you guys can check her out over there.
I need to have you back on here so we can take up about a half-hour time. Because
this is probably the shortest.
You explained 3D to me, in faster than all the videos I've watched. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I figure if you can come back, explain that to me in less than 15 minutes, you did a damn good job. So I need to have you come back for a longer time.
Oh heck yeah. But yeah,
I
no,
just
it's
have to work it out with
excited to
our
be
programming department.
here. Yeah, anytime you want to have me on, just let me know.
Yes, I
Okay.
appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say? Anyone you want to say hello to? Whatever. While you're
Um,
here.
just a general thank you to the drone community. For those that know me, thank you for following my journey. It's been a really interesting 10 years. If you want to hire me, my resume is on my website, zoefpv.com. I'm looking to transition, as you said earlier in your show, to the commercial side of the industry because the hobby side is very interesting times. And while I love focusing on this and bringing products to market for the hobby market, it's not very profitable and it's soul sucking. And my
I
skill set,
agree.
I think, is much rather be directed elsewhere. So yeah, go check that out at zoefpv.com.
Zoe, I
Zoe,
promise
that's what being an artist and a creator is all about. Is the struggle and the hard times of it. You know.
Yeah, and to be able to adapt.
I mean, I
Somebody.
will say I'm extremely thankful that I've been able to do what I've done in the market. I've had, I have my own motors. I've helped bring propellers and other electronics to market. I've helped define new categories of flying. I am so thankful for every person, group, and company I've worked with to be able to make things happen. I sound very ungrateful sometimes because like, I need to make some more money, but like, it's kind of awesome the fact that I've been able to actually bring innovations to market that other people can actually get their hands on and use.
Well,
That's a lot more than a lot of people can say.
really quick before we let you go, because we have someone in the green room here. You
Yeah.
inspire a lot of people to do things, but who inspires you?
So there's a pilot named Danish Stallion. He's a very good friend of mine, and he flies 3D. And he inspires me through not only his art, but by his kindness as a person. Go check out Danish Stallion. Like the dude is awesome. His 3D is mind blowing. If you think mine's cool, you're gonna have your mind blown.
Okay.
Thank you, Zoe. Please, I
Thank you.
promise you, we will keep in touch, and I want to have you on for a longer session. Most definitely.
So yeah. Well, thank you much, and y'all have a great day.
Maybe you could
Thank
fill
you.
in on a sick day for Herman.
I'm down. You just let me know.
I got you. Thank you so much, Zoe. I appreciate you.
All
Later.
right. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
Well, Lawrence, we have next coming up what I want to ask one question.
Yes.
Is DJI really on the clock? And we have Mr. Vic Moss backstage from the Drone Advocacy Alliance coming in.
And there he is, live, Mr. Vic Moss. What's up, Vic?
Hey, man, you tell me. You tell me. Yeah.
How are
Interesting
you
week.
doing?
I'm doing good. Busy. Yeah.
You know, it's the hot topic. It's always the hot topic. It's going to be the hot topic for the next 6 months.
You're gonna have to be a lot more specific with that opening statement, dude.
What, the hot topic?
Yeah, I got 4 or 5 sitting on my desk right here.
Well, I mean, as far as what's going on with DJI, we see
that's the main one right
we
now.
see that the drones are all out of stock on their site. They've pretty much shut down selling their drones off the site because
To the American market. To the American
right
market.
to the American market,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm assuming is because they can't get them through customs. But what I wanted to ask you really off the top, real quick, because I actually have people who contact me and who still believe that the issue that why we can't see DJI drones is because of the tariffs.
No. That doesn't. I mean, I don't want to say just blanket. No, that doesn't help. Okay, I mean they've been rolled back, so that's helpful,
Right, right.
temporarily, I believe. But you know what good is a tariff on something you can't buy anyway? So no, it's the tariff is not the main issue. It is an issue, but it's not the main issue. And we have things like people who I know somebody, I don't have permission to use his name, but if you're in my group, you know who it is. Um, that he had a Avata 2 come back on refresh from Canada, and they want a tariff, and he refused shipment. Now they're telling him he has to pay his interest on the tariff, and so it's just a hot mess. The refresh and that kind of stuff's not supposed to be tariffed, but apparently, last I heard, I thought it was fixed. Apparently, it's not. There's a shipping company in Canada who was putting the wrong codes on the DJI refresh stuff coming in, so they're coded as new and therefore require the tariff. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a hot mess on that side, but the whole, DJI not being in the country right now is not a tariff issue. It's a supply issue.
Well, what I'm looking at here, and I've been looking at it's saying that there's a lot of talk about the human rights issues with DJI and stuff like that, and this is part of the reason why that you're not seeing
the accusation of, not
the
issue
accusation.
of. Let's be clear about that.
Exactly. I'm sorry, right?
Be
Yeah, sorry
real
about
clear
that.
about that.
The accusations is causing the issue as to why we're not seeing them.
Right.
But
I'm not ignoring you. I'm looking through my notes. Keep going.
No, I'm quite sure of that. But the thing that was puzzling, and I'm quite sure that, and I mentioned this to you, that this week there was a post that I saw, and I reposted this post because I saw it, and I was like, and I've been talking about it for quite some time, and then somebody sent it to me, and I said, it's funny. I've been saying this about these people from the time I heard about it, and now that somebody that's you find creditable says it, so now you believe it. But this thing was floating around out there, and I thought that was really, that one was a really big. And I listen. I don't know what's going on with the AUVSI, and I know
You're trying
that
to get me in trouble.
A lot. There's a lot of lobbying and stuff going on, but I was just curious to know, between them and the commercial drone alliance, I mean, what's going on? Because I know that the commercial drone alliance wants to see drones integrated into the airspace.
Right.
I know there, and everything here in the United States is commercial. And when we start getting we start looking at the verbiage of stuff like Part 1, I don't want to make this compound and get confused with it. Part 1, like somebody mentioned in the chat, speaks to commercial and not private, which would be like me and Lawrence, yourself, private use industry.
But before you answer, do I have to read the disclaimer?
I'll read my own disclaimer. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Being like
Let's
commercial,
see, what were you going to say? Let's see. What were you going to say?
Okay. The views and opinions heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat. That covers everybody listening.
I just want to know, how much are they in actually deep into trying to pushing for, let's find a way to stop any of this DJI stuff, period.
Right. Well, back to your article, or to your post. I've been asked not to comment as an AUVSI leadership, because I am. I'm in the leadership of the AUVSI Rocky Mountain, but I want to make sure people understand you have your AUVSI chapters and you have your AUVSI national. Gotcha. And the two rarely meet, shall we say, and I'm going to leave it at that because I'm not going to get in trouble. We're doing too much work here in Colorado with the AUVSI Rocky Mountain chapter. We're trying to put a state preemption bill through next session. We're working with a lobbyist. So the states are doing some really great. North Carolina, upstate New York, the chapters of AUVSI are doing some really, really, really great work.
And I really believe that.
Yeah. The issue comes in when, again, this is Vic Moss, DAA, DSPA, whatever title you want to add. is there are some leadership issues at the AVSI National where they do not understand the industry. I mean, it's that simple. If they understood the industry, they would not be doing what they're doing. And if they understand the industry and are doing what they're doing, then they basically hate the drone industry. I may get in trouble for that, but it's in my opinion, and it's true. When Rick Scott put out a new bill, and it was a 3-paragraph press release, and the top 2 paragraphs were Rick Scott. The last paragraph was not Rick Scott, and we'll leave it at that. And that person was actually supporting the bill, and it's a DJI ban. It's a plain and simple DJI ban. If this was an issue, and I'll lay this down as a challenge. I don't give a crap. If this was the issue, if national security was the issue, then why isn't AUVSI National behind the 1709 audit? They should be talking to people on the Hill like I've done. I was in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. I may be in Washington, D.C. in another week. Talking to people and say, look, let's get the 1709 audit done. And let's give it to DHS or whoever. I mean, DHS is probably the best suited of the agencies. I mean, let's just look at what they do.
Do it again.
They're probably the best suited for it. And let's do it. Let's do the audit. Let's either. I almost said something. I shouldn't say. Let's poop or get off the pot. Let's say it that way when it comes to that.
Right. Didn't they do one before?
Oh, there have been multiple.
No, I'm saying the
DOD, DOI, lots of private companies have all done audits of DJI, and all of them have passed. The DOD audit, once they put it on their website, only lasted a week because DOD asked them to remove it because it didn't agree with what they were saying. So let's do it. If the audit comes back clean, or just it's not going to come back clean, that's what an audit is for. To find issues so you can address them, right? Whether it's you audit your checkbook every month, whatever. You're looking for issues, and so find the issue and get them to fix it if there is an issue, and quit relying on the old frickin' reports from.
According to the way the bill was written, if there was an issue, that there was nothing that they can do. They can't. Right. They can't address.
There's no right to redress.
Right. So what I find interesting is that if you know they can pass, you'll just wait it out to a state of execution.
Right. Poison pill starts December 23rd of this year. The poison pill kicks in.
Raymond says where I've heard that the 1709 section was a real problem. I said it last year.
Talking about it
it's not a real problem. Was passed. It's not a real problem. It could be a real good solution. It's just the way it's worded, that poison pill. And it was this. I do know it was a last-minute compromise in the NDA. I mean, like within the last 2 days when they were trying to get the NDAA out, the 1709 was added to appease some people, and it was not written well. You look at, let's see, how can I say this? Yeah, I can say it because I'm not mentioning any names. Some people have talked to some people, and I'm sorry I'm being so cryptic. Some people in DC who are elected officials, and they look at the 1709 and say, yeah, this is a really unfairly written section, but I can't stick my neck out for China right now. So that's why we need to do things as remote pilots, as commercial operators, as recreational operators. Zoe, I mean, I know she gets her stuff from China. And I have a great comment for her after in a bit if she's still in the audience. But they need to reach out, and we do have a campaign at the DAA. So droneadvocacyalliance.com. Go to our Take Action page, and in our Take Action page, there's a 1709 link to write to your Congress critters and ask them to please.
Not to cut you off, Vic, but there's also a link in the description.
You have to cut me off. You know that. If you want to get an edge in where you have to cut me off.
There's a link in the description for you guys who want to reach out and be able to voice your opinion, make your voices heard. There's a link in the description, please. There's also a link down where you can reach out to Vic himself. But Vic, Rick Scott's bill. the thing that and this is something that Lawrence and I spoke about. Rick Scott's bill speaks to the fact of actual total out ban of DJI.
Yeah,
and it's not so much. And I understand why they're focused on DJI and not when it originally, and the whole talk is Chinese made drones, but why DJI is the focus point is because DJI is a capable aircraft, and some of the other
What's more than
Chinese
capable?
aren't capable. So
A
when we
Skydio is
start getting
capable.
right, no, but a Holly Stone is not.
No, it's a great rec drone. It's a great first drone.
Yes. Yes.
Holystone, Roku,
To get
they
the
make some
basic,
great first drones.
the basic concept of drones, yes. To teach
And
you
they're
the basic,
Chinese.
right.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
9 years ago, Jalen wasn't interested. He wanted to fly the DJI drone. He was 12. He wanted
Yeah, I get it.
But what I was saying, if this bill, the way his bill is written, right, we're talking about a ban on Chinese drone manufactured drones systems by January 1st of 28. If I'm not right, so now we're talking or something of like that, and what we're looking at, parts, components
by 2031.
Right, by 31. Now, here's my problem with that. If these things present a security or national security risk, right? It's 25 now. We're willing to wait that long.
Exactly. Greg Reverdio has been bringing this up for the last 2 years.
Continue to have this security risk happening.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a security risk, and I'm all for you, and I'm backing you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a security risk, show it, stop it now, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Agree.
Which is more proof that what they're doing is selling snake oil, basically. I was going to say something else. I can't. I have to be nice. I have a Bible study this evening. I can't repent.
Oh, we don't want to ruin that for you, man.
No.
We can't ruin that for you.
And then also this bill is like it piggybacks off of the NDAA.
The Rick Scott's bill it doesn't really piggyback in as much as
and the executive order.
It doesn't even really do that. The executive orders aren't quite as caustic as certain people with organization headquartered in Arlington, Virginia, were talking about before they came out. It's just more Rick Scott appeasing people like Skydio and Brink and State Armor and AUVSI National, and it's frustrating. Really, I mean, I know it is for everybody here. It is for everybody here, but it seems like we get a step forward and we take 2 steps back, and that's hurting us now. Even if they do the ban, it's hurting us now. Look at we can't get DJI, but that's a CBP issue.
Have you heard of any rumors of them accusing the Drone Advocacy Alliance of joining cohorts with AUVSI or anything like that?
DAA joining AUVSI?
Well,
as the director of AUVSI, let me put it this way: hell no.
No, I don't mean it in that way. I mean, a few people are like the Drone Advocacy is joining forces. When you guys join for input, some people were misunderstood.
Oh, I'm totally confused now.
Okay.
Are you talking about DSPA and CDA?
I think you kind of explained it on the live stream when you were telling that you had input with the commercial drone
Drone Alliance. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Commercial Drone Alliance.
I'm sorry.
That's great.
I'm sorry. I said the wrong organization.
I belong to a lot. I get it.
I apologize.
You're 100% excused. DSPA joining CDA is I love it. CDA loves it. There are questions from people who support DSPA and people who are on CDA. It's like, wait a minute, what? It's like because the drone pilot voice is not active in the CDA, and they wanted it.
Right.
The CDA wanted the drone voice. And between myself and Greg, we represent over 100,000 drone pilots.
Okay.
And so, that's a big name. That's a big number. So, yeah, CDA absolutely wanted us to join for that reason, because we've got things coming up like Part 108. That I wish I'd joined a little earlier when they were talking about executive orders, because they'd had a lot to do with the executive orders. But No, it's absolutely 100%. There were people on both sides. DSPA supporters were confused because
Okay.
I didn't get our voice out. That's on me, 100%.
Okay.
I should have gotten in and said, "Hey guys, this is what we're doing. This is why." But I didn't do that. I should have. So I will 100% take the blame for that. But yeah, there were some CDA
It
members
was
that weren't happy.
shocking. I'll admit, it was shocking. It was
Mhm.
like glass broke in a quiet room.
And again, my fault, 100%.
Well, you know what, Vic, I wanted to say to you, and I'm probably one of the most when it comes to speaking and being, I don't know, some might say paranoid in the community. And I look at things and I've seen things. Lawrence and I talk all the time. I said to him about the Part 107. I tell him about this. I tell him about that.
Right.
And I tell him about a lot of the things. And it's like one of the things that we experienced in the last 5 years was the whole thing about in the community about the drone police and
Mhm.
police in the community. And I really believe
Is
He
Herman
believes
still
something.
here?
He was on a
Uh,
roll. Dang it.
he was
and the
having
verbiage
issues.
behind the things that
Oh,
we
there
always
he goes.
say.
Hold on, Herman.
We always
Yeah,
say like the most
Herman.
important things said about you are the things that are said when you are not there.
Okay, oh,
I think we just lost him.
we
He
just
should
lost
be
him for good.
back. I'm guessing where he was getting at, where when a lot of these things were going down, people
Mhm.
were saying, "Where's Vic Moss? Where's Kenji? What are these guys doing? What are they thinking? You know, do they
What's
even
going
know
on?
what?"
Back up a little bit.
In Herman's
Back.
back. In
There he is.
general, and
And now he's
maybe
gone.
hold it.
Oh,
Add the scene. There we go. Let go. Go ahead. There we go.
yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah.
getting back,
So
maybe you can re-explain
wh-
because you went out, and I'm
no,
not
what I
doing a
was
good job
saying.
at explaining what you're trying to say.
Well, what I was kind of saying. I don't know where I got interrupted,
Pretty much the
but
beginning.
Yeah, yeah. You started
wow,
skipping out. Yeah.
at the beginning. Wow. Okay.
Um.
Well, anyhow, as far as what we were actually talking about, and so many of these bills and stuff to
Mhm.
ban DJI, I feel that, and like I said, I'm one of the most paranoid in the community
Right.
when it comes to this, and I've talked to Lawrence about this, and I've seen the changes coming and going throughout. From listen, when I first bought a drone, the Phantom 4 wasn't even out, and it was just coming out. I
Yep,
bought the
my
Phantom
Phantom 2
3,
sitting right
the
there.
Phantom 4 came out, and then the Phantom 4 Pro came out, and then I bought the Phantom 4 Pro. So, you
I
know,
Right
see.
there.
I'm not a guy that came in with a Nevada or a guy that came in with a Mini or a
Or
Mavic
Mavic Pro,
and stuff like
or
I was
Air,
around,
or an
been
Air.
around a little while and I've seen a lot of
Hmm.
the changes and I've seen things happening and I told Lawrence, I said, it's gonna come a time when we have to have that Part 107 to fly.
Hmm.
I see it coming and I see the things that they're talking about. Because when we were talking IPP program and them talking about being able, and this is when they started talking about beyond visual line of sight back then, and
I talked about
even for
forever.
cameras and sensors to be better and to be able to have these things happening. We are here now.
We are here.
So we're looking at things changing, and I look at things, and like I said, I'm one of the most paranoid. I said, when we start talking about a ban on DJI, and I said this to guys in the community a long time ago, Parrot and everybody else got down on the get down or lay down plan when the blue UAS came about,
Hmm.
and DJI Autel did not fall for it. They said we sell a lot of drones to consumers
Hmm.
that
Yep.
are out there recreational flying, having a good time. Now I look at a ban against these companies as an all right attack against recreational and hobbyist flyers because that's one of their biggest markets. You understand what
Someone
I'm saying?
had asked.
I have one enterprise drone that I fly, and I have 7 recreational drones, as you
Mhm.
would consider one, and 2 that is, I guess, float back and forth, which are the Phantoms. But neither here nor there. I just see an attack on DJI and Autel as an attack on hobbyist flyers, recreational flyers, and the hobby in itself. And by eliminating them, you eliminate all of the recreational flyers eventually from our airspace
Mhm.
to make room for air taxis, delivery drones,
Nope.
and
You lost me
first
there.
first first responder first responder operations,
Mhm.
because right here in New York City we have first responder operations where drones are deployed on gunshots and other
Mhm.
things that are
As long as they
on,
don't keep burning down. I'm
so they
sorry.
can actually track assailants on the street and be able to
Okay, yeah.
report
Mhm.
back to the
Yep.
officers who are responding to the
Mhm.
scene who's who, where's where they're going.
Mhm. Mhm.
Understand? We saw that happen with Chula Vista, and we love and we applaud and we embrace that happening.
Mhm.
But it's gonna. I feel, and I see it happening at the expense of the hobby that we've all been into, where somebody with deeper pockets will just come in and take away from us because they can.
Um, ish. Let's say ish. It's not just recreational. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's also commercial, folks. I mean, you see, I've got 10 drones that I fly commercially, 9 DJI and 1 un-DJI,
Mm-hmm.
um, and a buttload of recreational. I mean, I've got so many little drones that are sitting in pieces on the other side of that wall right there because I don't fix them. I just buy a new one. Um, it is an attack on not only the recreational but also the commercial. But as far as the attack on recreational side, um, if you extrapolate that out, it's more than just an attack on recreational drone pilots. It's an attack on the aviation industry. Because if you look at current pilots and mechanics, and folks like that who are currently aging out, which is the vast majority of them, I think I've mentioned that before.
Right.
Um, they started at the AMA field. A lot of them did, and the AMA fields are getting smaller and smaller and smaller because the model aircraft is not as fun as a video game, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not seeing the younger folks come in. That's where recreational drones can come in and literally save the industry. They can get people, they can have the love of aviation. That can be that first spark. The gateway drug to an aviation career is a recreational drone, whether it's a Phantom or a Roku or a DJI or, whatever, Holystone, whatever it is, home built, one of Zoe's, whatever. That will spark that love of aviation that they can then go and say, you know what, I can do more than just fly. I can design. I can get my PPL and become a private pilot. Oh, this is a whole lot of fun. I want to get up there and I want to be in a 380. I want to be Kyle Nordfirst flying around in a 737. That is an attack on aviation in general, much less the commercial drone pilots, recreational drone pilots. That is also an attack on the aviation community and could be very, very, very detrimental to our future as American leaders in the aviation world. We are the leaders in the aviation world, with the exception of the 380s and such. But the French have, they do a good job too. But it's a lot more than that, and they can't see past they being those who oppose the Rick
Mm-hmm.
Scotts of the world, the
I,
ABSIs, whatever.
I thought I was almost heard a name slip, but damn.
What's Phonic? But no, that's who they're attacking, and they can't see past the dollar bills floating in front of their eyes
Right.
that are given to them by these companies. It is so short-sighted, it is so stupid, it is so ignorant. And I mean, usually when I'm talking about ignorance, I'm talking about the non-pejorative sense, like you just don't know what you don't know. But this is ignorance in the pejorative sense. They may know that they don't know, but they don't care.
They don't.
Sorry.
I totally get it.
I'm sorry. It's been a week. It's only Wednesday.
I totally get it. You know what, Vic? I want you to do, because we forgot to do it in the last segment.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was
I
Uh-oh.
hard.
like I like to keep everybody compliant, and a lot of these
Oh,
guys
me
come
too.
here. They come every week and they come and hang out with us, and I give away these strobes
Oh, which ones are
so
those?
that, to make sure that everybody has a strobe.
Who is it? I can't read it.
Let me see. Get a little closer. I don't know.
Oh, it's upside down,
Or
first of all.
it's up
Oh
to
no, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Wait a minute. I can read that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, here we go.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay.
Those are nice. 3 mile.
Uh
Yep.
huh.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So everybody, I try to give away something to one lucky viewer every week.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you can see the private chat in the on
Yeah. If you go to group,
If I turn it on, I don't. If I do something, I'm going to hang up on you guys.
I just typed in a private chat. I'm here.
That doesn't help me at all,
um
dude. Oh,
So
there it is. That's private chat. Hey, wow, push that button,
yes,
stupid. There we go.
click on it.
Uh-huh.
okay.
Okay. Now you see it in the private chat there. How many people we got watching?
How
We
many
got
people?
21 watching.
Says
Oh, I don't
21
see
watching.
that.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
so
not a host. I don't think I can
we
see
can
it.
double that number. We can double that number, right?
Hmm.
To
And we can make it
42.
42.
To 42.
Okay.
Uh, let's make it a cool 50.
Okay.
Between you pick a number between 1 and 50, put it in the
Okay.
private chat, and you put
And
it in the
we won't start until I'm ready to say we are starting. So
Oh, it
don't
won't.
start putting
I
numbers
hit
in,
enter.
guys. Yes.
How do
Hit
I
enter.
enter?
And you hit enter?
Not on a Mac. Oh, come
Oh,
on, you stupid machine. It won't let me write down.
Oh,
well.
I'm
Don't.
ignorant. And I mean in the non-pejorative sense here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. In the private chat there, you should be able to the exact left of our cameras, you should see a box to type in. If you type
Okay.
in there, we should get a message from you.
okay. Yeah, it should be
Oh,
on the
that's the
top.
search
The
box,
little box.
stupid. I'm typing in the search box.
Right,
Okay.
right. You should see. Yeah,
Okay, but it should have the group and everybody who's in the chat
right. If
in
you
there.
click on
Okay, I
group,
see the group.
you click
Okay.
on
Okay, now
that.
click on group.
Dude, I figured it out. You give me
Ah,
enough
There we
time,
go.
I can figure anything out. You may be off the air by then.
okay. We got the
Got it?
number in. Okay, we're
Okay, I
gonna
see the
Oh,
start
number.
sorry, guys. It's been a
as a
long day.
ray of sunshine. As a ray of sunshine, we can start now between 1 and 50. Giving away a 3 nautical miles strobe for your drone to make you compliant.
And that means
And
either
go-
107 or 4809. You have both. You have to have both.
yes, so go ahead. You can put your numbers in under ray of sunshine.
Whoa.
Keep going. Stop. Thomas
Whoa.
Baker. Stop, stop, stop. Already, Thomas Baker got it.
Oh, I should go
Thomas
back to
Baker.
comments now.
Yeah, I was
There
watching
you
the
go,
comments from
Thomas.
the beginning.
Hmm.
Congratulations to Thomas Baker. You need to contact Herman in the About Me section. Send him an email. Say it's me, Thomas Baker. I won the strobe. And you send him your mailing address and we will get it out to you as soon as possible.
Awesome.
I
Good job. Yeah,
apologize.
strobes are great.
That was really fast. Someone had
Oh yeah.
almost got it. Someone had hit 28. Oh, Draymond. Draymond had hit 28. I was
Oh,
like,
Dre.
no worries. Just hit up Herman via email, remind him, send him your address, and let him know that you want a strobe, and we will get it out
You
to you.
should be able to find it in the description.
About Me
on-
section, right?
Yeah, and I think they might have changed a little bit on YouTube.
Or in the description or something, right?
I'll tell you exactly where to find it now. Because I haven't looked myself. When you go to, I guess the channel, right? It'll
Yeah, let me
okay.
go to, hold
Yeah,
on.
everything should be right there when you go to the homepage of the channel. Everything should come up.
They
Right?
moved it, there's no About Me
Yeah,
section anymore.
they moved that right to having.
What?
Yeah, they moved that.
There's home, video, shorts, live, playlist, post, and search. There's no more About Me section.
Oh man, that's stupid.
Yeah, they moved
Another
that.
reason to use Vimeo.
Is it on the left-hand side? Because I see home, shorts, subscriptions. Anyway, you guys help us figure that out. We congratulations, Thomas Baker. And Eldon says, Vic Moss,
Well,
thanks for all you do for the drone and FPV community.
if you
I
look
tried.
on the, I'm going to tell you how to find it. If you look on the page, right? If you're looking at the page, it'll show you the channel art, right? Below that, it'll tell you the name of the channel, and it'll tell you everything, how many subscribers, the amount of whatever videos, and then it'll tell you the name of the channel. It'll say more.
Yes,
you click on more, and more will bring up the channel description, the address of the channel, and everything, or where you can get, where you can send anything to the channel, and it has the email, my email.
Okay.
So
they moved the About Me section,
right?
Go
to
figure.
The more on the channel name.
There you go, so Thomas Baker.
There, you shouldn't have any problem finding it.
Awesome.
Okay.
There you go.
And
It's like Costco. Every time you go in there, everything's moved.
Yeah, YouTube likes to do that. But yeah, but, I mean, like where do we go from here? Like where do we go? I mean, I know we can always voice let our voices be heard on the Drone Advocacy
on the DA
Alliance.
website, droneadvocacyalliance.com. Go to one of our Take Action. Go to all of our Take Action. And when you fill out your address, it goes ahead and it populates who your DC folks are. And you can either just click send, but what I strongly suggest is we have a little paragraph, and it's like, change that up, make it personal. I think our numbers are like 60-something%. Make it personal, and that makes a lot more sense. That pushes people more than just click the button, because anybody can click a button. But if you personalize, hey, I'm a drone pilot in New York City, whatever, and if this ban goes through, or if you don't do the audit, I can't fly my drones. I like to say that, I'll be out of business. I won't be out of business because I'm a photographer, videographer. Drones are one of mine, but it would suck. I mean, it would suck. I love flying the drones.
Right. To take that element away.
Yeah, and I'm not going to fly any drone that's over about 3 years old with the hours I put on them, because there's no serviceable part. And so you're looking at making the national airspace less safe by not letting DJI and Autel drones in, because we're still going to keep flying them, because there is nothing, capital NOTHING, suitable for what we do, for what I do.
I'd like to repeat something really quick.
Yes, go ahead. Like I said, you want to say something, shut me up.
I agree with Ray of Sunshine in the chat. She says, also watch what your state and local legislature is doing regarding drone laws too.
Of course.
New York access to that. Yeah.
And this goes back to what I was saying before, when guys were saying how drones shouldn't be flying in critical infrastructure.
Correct.
Drones are used to inspect critical infrastructure. So you can't ban a drone from being able to fly the critical infrastructure. What I think that there's a back doorway of banning drones in critical infrastructure that's hurting the hobby, and I have nobody else to blame but ourselves. So
and
we
define
need to
critical infrastructure. You have to define it under Section 2209.
Yeah, you're right, because what they'll sell you is they'll sell you the bag of goods of saying bridges, tunnels, cell towers, stuff of that type of nature. Other antennas, power plants.
Lines. I can't fly my backyard. if that were the pace.
Right. Power plants and stuff like that. Gas and other things like that. I don't
You've got states that have done that now. Arizona,
they've even gone as far as saying railroads.
Railroads, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm flying over railroads. I wish I had my railroad pictures up over here. But it needs to be done. 2209 needs to be done, which was also part of the executive order, which was really nice. That was supposed to be out in 2016, so you do the math. 9 years late. And Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, that's what we need to do. It's absolutely silly that we can't. We need to define critical infrastructure, and oh, I know I was going to say, and don't ban drones over critical infrastructure. What you need to do is you need to set up a set of cybersecurity guidelines, protocols, whatever. It's like, okay, if you're flying over this, whatever, nuclear power plant, whatever, because they do work
You
really
have to
well,
be a
nuclear power
certain
plants.
altitude over it.
No, it doesn't even have to be certain
Well,
altitude
be
over
that.
it. It
Right.
has to be okay. If you're going to fly over this place, A, you need permission, and
True.
B, you have to have, let's say, it has to be air gapped. You cannot be attached to the internet. Oh, guess what? That puts Skydio out of business because guess who flies attached to the internet?
Yeah.
Guess who flies DJI drones not attached to the internet? Mine. Well, not all of
Right.
mine are up here because I'm shooting tomorrow. Some of them are upstairs. But it's I don't fly connected to the internet. And I said Skydio. The drone I'm flying right now on cell towers, when you turn it on, it says connecting to the internet, downloading stuff. It's like you talk about non-secure drone. It's the one I'm supposed to fly because I can't fly DJI on these things.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Go figure that
Right.
logic.
The Skydio, and then you have to get past the Skydio drone not wanting to start up before 5 or 10 minutes start. It's 5 or 10 minute warm up. You go make a sandwich or eat half a bagel and come back. I've heard about those things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, it's pretty decent when it comes to creating,
Thomas
3D.
Baker said he sent you an email, Herman. Thank you, Thomas.
Okay. All right, Thomas, I got you. I'll check it
And the
out.
details of most of these laws, the exemptions for commercial operations, and inspections. Yeah.
There
Right,
needs
it's
to be an
all
exemption
about
or a
commercial.
process. And it has to be, in some cases, it should be a notification process like Lance. But the thing is, the airports don't get Lance. But if let's say I need to fly over a refinery here. We've got a huge refinery just north of Denver.
Right.
Let's say I need to go fly it, or I need to fly next to it, which was an issue at one point. I just need to say, okay, this is me. This is who I'm flying. This is where I'm flying. This is my serial number, or this is the serial number. And then it goes to security of that plant, or it goes somewhere where plant security can go, drone.
Somebody knows
Oh, it's Vic.
Somebody knows
It's
there's a
Herman.
drone in the area, and you got the green light.
Yeah,
Basically.
I don't even have to have the green light. I say it's me. So that would solve so many problems, but that's not that doesn't help U.S. drone makers figure out how to get their drones to market without competition, and that's what they're trying to do.
Well, they want to 28 to be able to take apart DJI drones, inspect them, see how it works, and see if we can create that or get that same type of technology from one of our friendly neighbors. And if they can produce that, then our supply chain is good. If not, then we don't have a supply chain.
We don't have a supply chain now.
Well, we did.
We're not going to get one. Let's look at lithium.
If we allow DJI, well, if they suck up all that water out there in California, they'd be able to make batteries. But
we have two of the largest lithium deposits in the world here in the United States. You know how long it would take the EPA to grant licenses to get that stuff out of the ground? You talk about not having manufacturing. There's no way we would get lithium deposits in time to do anything. We're off topic. I'm sorry, Vic. Stay on topic.
No, it's okay. It's that time, guys.
I'm sorry.
Is it?
It's that time.
It is. It's 5:00. Well, in Denver, I can smell dinner too. So it's like,
Vic, we have to do this again sometime. We need more time to talk because
Vic, we actually have a time where every other Tuesday we can go on past 7. So if you want every other Wednesday. So if one day we want to have a late stream and get some people in here that want to hear some things they really don't want to hear, that would be a great time to do it.
Or just email me, one of the two.
Or hear the things that they need to hear.
Yeah.
No, I would love to do that. We should have the BB Lost NPRM. We were hearing that it was coming out today.
Right.
And maybe it did. I haven't really been checking things.
Well, I was waiting to hear about
Kenji,
it
nope,
too.
it didn't yet.
No.
Once Greg and I can, or once I know Greg's going to sit down. Greg and Jason are going to sit down and really digest it. And I'm going to try and spend some time with them as well. And once that's done, we're really going to try real hard to get the correct information out about the BB loss NPRM, because we're probably only going to have a 30-day comment window, because they're trying to
Okay.
push it out quick. It's supposed to be final rule in 180 days from 6th of July. And so it's probably going to be the 30-day window. So I strongly suggest everybody set aside a couple hours in 2 weeks and gather all the information, and you can go ahead and put your comment in
Send
on
me
the
what you
NPRM.
got. Send me whatever you get.
Yeah, I don't have anything yet. We haven't seen it.
No, so whatever
Haven't
you
seen
get.
it. Oh yeah. I'm hoping tonight, in which case I know what my weekend's going to be. But we'll see.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Well, anything you guys want to say before we get out of here?
Fly safe,
Oh,
always. Don't be that
Thanks.
guy. Let's steal Greg's.
Vic, thank you again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
thank you, Vic.
I appreciate it. I
Really
can't tell you how much I appreciate the
You know,
invite, guys.
anytime you
No,
want
I
to come
really
on and vent,
appreciate you coming on. I'm sorry about that, Lawrence.
Just
I
make
really
sure you have a
appreciate
mute button so you can shut me up. I mean, you need to ask a question or something. I get excited and can't stop.
well,
I know what you mean, because I talk to Lawrence, and sometimes I can go on, and I talk to some of the people that send me messages, and I'm like, I'm never mind.
all right. Well, thank
Some
you.
things less stuff done.
Okay.
Thanks.
Humphrey.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. A lot.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, Vic.
All right.
Yes, thanks a
Everybody
lot,
in
man.
the chat, have fun.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Enjoy dinner,
Yes.
Vic.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy dinner. Always.
Yes, please.
Love
enjoy
my
it.
wife's cooking. All right. See you guys.
All right.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Lawrence,
Yes.
anything before we get out of here?
No, be safe, fly safer. Thanks, guys. We hope you appreciate the show. And
Guys, sorry.
until next time, next week, same time, we'll be
Well,
back.
well, guys, I just want to say one thing. Well, we say these things, and we talk about what's happening, Drone Commercial Alliance. Our hobby is in danger, we believe. So what I tell you guys is, do the right thing. Where is that? It may be fun to do something. It may not be fun to do the right thing, but try to always do the right thing. Protect
Agreed.
yourself, protect the hobby, and try to hold on to this for as long as we can and see what else happens. There are things happening. The Weiss firm is fighting for DJI, and we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. We'll see. And with that being said, there's a few other streams on tonight, and I guess I'll see you next time with those guys.
I
Good night,
love those guys.
Bye.
Huh?
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you much.
I love those guys.